Hi, my name is Caroline Poland from Poland and Associates Consulting, and today I'm going to talk about another helpful tool in navigating times of anxiety and stress and overwhelm during these hard days that we find ourselves in, and that's the tool of sensory grounding. So remember, with anxiety, it's partly about trying to find control over something when we've lost control. Anxiety is rarely about the present moment. It's usually about something that happened in the past, even if it just happened, or something in the future, even if it's just about to happen. Sensory grounding is a really nice tool because it brings us back to this present here and now moment, which is the only moment that we can actually control in our lives. So sensory grounding is a way to navigate that. And what I like about it is that it involves our five senses, the things that we take with us no matter where we go. So let's talk through what this actually looks like. So we're going to navigate our five senses in healthy, proactive ways. So first we want to identify 5 things that you see. So what is it that you see around the room? Identify them and describe them to yourselves. Well, I can see this wall hanging behind me. I can see that it's made of wood and metal. I can see the root system of the tree. I can see this plant that's next to me, and I can see the dirt that's in the plant and the pot, which is white with some gold flecks on it, and I can start to count the number of leaves. So that's a good way to identify what you see. We're going to identify 4 things that you feel, but there's a number of things that you could go and pull to do that. So I just walked around my house to pull some things really quick to show you how you could kind of make a sensory bin to engage in sensory grounding. So you could grab rocks. You can find these on a walk or maybe around your house as long as you're social distancing, and you can feel this. I can see this and I can feel this. What does this actually feel like? This is a shell, and so again I can feel this. It's a little bit sharper, there's a lot more edges. I can feel the difference from the outside versus the inside. So these are things that I can feel. This is another great thing that I love. It's just a silicone scrubby used for washing dishes, but it feels really good to touch. You can just get these off of Amazon or even at some grocery stores. So this is kind of a nice thing to put in a sensory bin. Then we're going to go to 3 things that you hear. One thing that's really helpful is right now to go on to whatever you use to listen to music and create some playlist for yourself. So that could be a calming playlist if you're anxious, or a playlist to dance to if you kind of feel some of that extra energy from anxiety that you want to get out. So that's a really great thing to have. Perhaps some recordings of some loved ones' voices. Those are great things to identify. So 3 things that you hear. Then we're going to look for 2 things that we can smell. So a great example would just be to include a lotion that you have. Put it on. That's a felt experience as well, and then smell it. If you have an essential oil or a tea, those are great things that you could use for something like that. And then we're going to look for 1 thing that you can taste. So I went and collected some candy before I self-quarantined, and so M&Ms were one of those things that I got. But we don't want to just eat the M&Ms. You want to engage in what does this really taste like. Let it start to melt in your mouth a little bit and really try to engage in the present moment experience of consuming the M&Ms. So here's a fun idea, a way to create an activity, not just for yourself, but if you have kids in the house, to engage with them as well, and that is to create a sensory bin. So give each child a bin or some sort of crate-like thing that they can put some of those sensory items that they can see, feel, hear, smell, and touch. These items can just go in it right inside, and when they start to get anxious and overwhelmed, they can run to this basket and know that they have tools in their tool bucket that they can use to help navigate that anxiety and overwhelm. This is for mental health providers, for doctors, for nurses, for those of you who are on the front lines with this. I really want to encourage you to be doing something like sensory grounding even in the busyness of the moment, because it helps to kind of reset your nervous system in the moment, in the here and now, so that it can help protect you in the long run from things like compassion fatigue or burnout or secondary traumatic stress. So again, with sensory grounding, we're looking at the present here and now moment for navigating things that we feel uncertain about or overwhelmed about or anxious, fearful, panicky, any of those emotions. And we're looking at 5 things that you see, 4 things that you feel, 3 things that you hear, 2 things that you smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. If you really want to make it fun, create sensory bins for each member of your family, the things that you really enjoy to help during this time. So again, keep checking in with this channel, and I'm going to continue to post videos that are helpful to navigate some of the mental health struggles that we have during this time. If you have specific requests, find me on Instagram at Pullen & Associates and shoot me a message there and send me your request. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram and at Facebook at Pullen & Associates, and I will see you later. Have a good night.